I caught my manipulative girlfriend cheating on me, so I left her without warning even though she was financially dependent on me. Although my now ex-girlfriend Sophia and I were going through a major rough patch in our relationship, I never resorted to going out and hooking up with someone else. That's one way in which we differed. Sophia and I had been dating for 4 years at that point, and we lived together. She recently got laid off and had been looking for a job, so I was paying our rent and taking care of all bills even though the lease was signed to her name. I had no legal binding to the apartment. She was becoming an increasingly annoying person to be around because she was frustrated with job hunting and couldn't get past being unemployed. I tried to be there for her and support her as much as I could, but it was tough with the amount of extra shifts I had to pick up to ensure rent was paid. It got to the point where I was working 15-hour shifts back to back and would find Sophia sitting on the couch smoking 420 when I came home. I was busting my butt while she was enjoying the za. I was getting annoyed with her for not picking up a job as a server or something for the time being. When I suggested that to her, she refused to stoop to the level of service workers, and to her, it was office work or nothing. This went on for a month straight. Every time I came home and saw that she was zooted, I confronted her about it being a major setback and she said that it helped her relax from the job hunt. I couldn't even imagine how her job hunt was going with the way our house smelt like a constant trap house. One day, I was scheduled for a 15-hour shift because I had picked up a double, and I told Sophia that I would be gone until 10 p.m. I came to work at 6 a.m. and by 4 p.m., I had a severe headache. I could barely stand, so the manager told me to take the rest of the day off and to go home and rest. I was most likely just fatigued from working so much, so I went home early. I came home and saw a strange pair of shoes left outside of our apartment. I immediately grew suspicious and had a bad gut feeling about what was going on in the apartment. I stood by the front door and pressed my ear in to listen, and to my unfortunate surprise, I heard the familiar sound of Sophia moaning. I barged in and saw her on top of a man on our living room couch. Both of them had obviously smoked before the action because the smell was horrid. Sophia jumped up quickly and covered herself and started panic crying and telling the stranger on the couch to get up and get out. The whole situation was so awkward that I almost felt bad about catching them. Once he got out of the house, I was clearly pissed, and Sophia started making up every excuse possible, saying that she needed to be filled up because me and her haven't been doing it because I was working so much and she was suffering from the boredom of being unemployed. I was so shocked that she was seeing herself as the victim in the situation, that I just stood there and listened. Once she was done explaining herself, I told her to leave me alone because I needed to take a nap. I felt unwell. I locked her out of our bedroom, and immediately called my parents and asked them if I could move back home for the time being. And after explaining the situation with Sophia, they said it was more than okay. I had not spoken to Sophia, and the next morning when I got up, she was asleep on the couch. She thought I was going to work, so she mumbled to me that we would talk about everything later and that she loved me, but I said nothing. She didn't even notice when I dragged my clothes and stuff out of the house in 2 large suitcases. I went home to my parents and left a note on the counter telling Sophia that our relationship was over and that she could deal with the financial struggles herself. I felt guilty doing it because I still cared for her, but nothing could justify her cheating on me after making me suffer at work. To pull through for us, and in a way, I'm glad that the trash took itself out.